Yeah, so true football fans, Ghana Premier League in Muswa there. League, area match day 4. But for Asante Kotoko there, I feel on the ball almost second league game since I'm called Breku. I Chelsea by a lone goal to 0. But for the other clubs, maybe no one call African there. On one ball, a couple of games near there. But Kotoko, any Heart of Lions on any day, top fixture of the Ghanaian football calendar. So, and Adma Sunday we are 3 o'clock at Babaya Stadium. Asante Kotoko host to Bandu Heart of Lions, headed by Bashir Hayford, one assistant Daniel Yeje, or more Ebe Face Asante Kotoko Tanguvi. Ghana Premier League, means Ubenya a better fixture than the others on Sunday now. Ibiabi Kotoko has Kotoko fixture free, but on any day, Kotoko Lions, especially Bashir Hayford's Lions there, on any day, a very, very big game. How this year called Namiadma Sunday?
Yes, it's a big game and a game a history. You remember the famous Yemubium in a Kotoko competition?
Yeah.
Back then, it was the same Bashir Hayford and Anna managing Pando Heart of Lions. Our Motiti Asante Kotoko to the extent said the late Jerry Asare. He decided to say Kotoko be boycott to the game and all of that. And beyond that, Heart of Lions ni Kotoko encounters, especially Omo returning to the Premier League. So they went to relegation when they came back. Omo a very difficult side for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. In fact, Lions are returning to the league, Kotoko is yet to beat them
in 5 games, in all competitions.
In all competitions.
Lions are winning 3 in a 2 and
in a draw.
Including an away win against Kotoko
Obuasi last season.
Yeah.
Yes. And the recent one, the Kotoko competition. For the Kotoko family, this is a gamer. Many sure say unbetting relax at all. And if you look at Coach Karim Zito Nkomo ahead of the game on Sunday, clearly Nkomo Nichese a game that they are approaching it with all the seriousness that it deserves. Don't forget, it's not just about the history and the Kotoko Heart of Lions encounters, but when it comes to current form, right? Lions are the league leaders. 3 games, they've won all the 3 games. Right, and they are a dangerous side. Look, I remember before the Homo Cup between Hearts of Oak and then Heart of Lions, there was this conversation from Mr. Bashir Hayford, and he was like, Opese Anye Krempuno, Heart of Lions standard almost 30 years last season, almost maintaining the same standards, even though they've lost some key players. And so we team now from World Cup nearby to the Kotoko competition and what they've done so far in the Ghana Premier League after 3 games now. Clearly, you see a side that is gradually progressing, right? Also, project say almost started from 1. Now you can say Omo was somewhere around 5, 6. So it is not an on and off project. It is a project that clearly you see that Omo a progressive. And for me, it is a very, very difficult game. Very difficult game because psychology in the game is very, very crucial. And anytime be only opponent be or what that psychological edge over you it becomes tough for the coaches and for the players and even for supporters as well. And I think on Sunday, one of the things at Kotoko here an atmosphere that is so charged like those days now. We call it the number 13. It pushes players to perform beyond normal levels. No, that's what Kotoko will need. But can we see that? Is it assured? Very, very difficult to say yes, because in recent times, Kotoko at home, whether Obuasi or Babayara Stadium, clearly we've seen that crowd, crowd are amazing. Part of the reasons why teams etimi Baba Yara Stadium be feeling comfortable ebo with Asante Kotoko to that extent. So for me, I see that game to be the most difficult game Kotoko ebebo this season so far. Not even the Kwara game, because Kwara, we've seen their standards. Yes, they played against Berekum Chelsea week 1. Kotoko Koshe away to Berekum Chelsea, but we all know that this Berekum Chelsea side, a side that coach Samuel Buedu is trying to rebuild all over again, because they lost almost all their key players last season. Amankunako, Zakaria Fuseni, Yubejau, Omuna joining Asante Kotoko, and a couple of other guys in there. Omalusu, Omunti. It's like a rebuilding exercise, right? Inti Kotoko, Ekoho, Umutumi share, they did well, but it was not the usual Berekum Chelsea side. It's so difficult to play, which is why I compare all these things and I look at Kotoko against Gold Stars, Kotoko against Lions, Kotoko against Asafuk, or top 4 again against Gold Stars, or dance back in the Super Cup, and also against Berekum Chelsea. I see this Heart of Lions side to be more stable and more difficult to play than all the teams Kotoko abo. I think Coach Karim Zito and the entire playing body, the Kotoko family, can expect a tough game on Sunday.
Yeah, now we have Kotoko in the last 4 games, last 4 competitive games from Abu Mashe. The Super Cup against Gold Stars, LBBNE, on the ball Premier League Day 1 against Chelsea winning, and then the 2 double header against Kwara United, women are winning Mashe. So I know Chirese, quite a different Asante Kotoko, and you now compared to the one you during the top 4. I mean, how well do you feel, sir, Karim Zito can work on the issue of complacency in order to try and get something out of this game? Because himself, I mean, young boys see West Africa, who in a way near the end, they probably may feel, say, they are up there. Meaning the issue of complacency.
I think the issue of complacency, they should be out of Kotoko's equation. Forget about the win against Gold Stars in the Super Cup. Forget about the win against Berekum Chelsea or the opening game of the Ghana Premier League. Even forget about Kwara home and away. When it comes to Kotoko Pando Heart of Lions engagement CCA Noah, I didn't remember Kotoko feel complacent, because we are ahead of you in terms of the league log, right? In terms of mere encounters in the last 5 encounters in all competitions, we are ahead of you. And Kotoko must rather move into the game to fight hard to break that narrative. And when you are trying to break a certain record, when you are trying to fight to change a certain narrative, you cannot be complacent on any day. Yes, I understand that during the top 4 backlash and all of that. Now Omo bounce back in that manner to win the Super Cup and also to beat Kwara home and away to secure qualification to the next stage of the CAF Confederation Cup, and to beat Berekum Chelsea. I mean, Emma was just we experiencing that positive energy our camp any idea. Instead of being complacent, I think that the positive energy in Kotoko's camp now, one that also more capitalizing on it to push their confidence so high to be able to break that barricade now. Pando Heart of Lions, they are 2 Kotoko in recent times. So for me, Zito cannot be complacent coming up against Bashir Hayford, because he is ahead of Zito. Lions, as we speak, Omni Kotoko encounters, they have that psychological edge. So in terms of complacency, I think, sir, it should be way out of Kotoko's equation. Maybe Adiabako betimi working against Kotoko, when they are unable to overcome that psychological edge, because psychologically, the side now Kotoko ni nebe bono, the confidence, we've been beating them. The West, we pick against them a point, so we can repeat the same performance, right? And they have another player, our Beteni, into a coach who has played for Kotoko before in Daniel Niaje. Niaje at some point a captain Asante Kotoko. It will name the Kotoko culture, same as Bashir Hayford, also manage Kotoko. Eddie Kotoko abobra in the Ghanaian game before. For me, complacency there should be out. What the coaches of Kotoko should be working on that psychological edge, and I feel when they are able to do that, they are good to go, right?
So final one, prediction.
Win or draw for Asante Kotoko. I don't expect Kotoko to lose this game.
All right.
Yeah.
So Kotoko fans, Ebeko say Nami Adma Sunday. Mzemo anticipate a win on Sunday against Bashir Hayfords out of Lions, but realistically, if it's a sign, Ebeko, near comment section, want to subscribe to the channel.